You know what's kind of funny? Most people have no idea what a SIM card actually does. They just know it's that little chip thing that makes their phone work. And now there's this new thing called an eSIM, and everyone's acting like it's either the greatest invention ever or some kind of scary tracking device. So which one should you actually use? By the end of this, you're going to understand both so well that you could explain it to your grandma over coffee. All right, imagine for a second that your phone is a house. A nice little house where you live. Now, to get mail delivered to your house, you need an address, right? Without an address, the mailman has no idea where to bring your letters. Your SIM card is basically your phone's address. It tells the phone company, hey, this is me. Send my calls and texts and internet here. That's it. That's the magic. It's just an address card. Now, a physical SIM card is like having your address written on a little plastic card that you slide into a slot in your house. You can take that card out, put it in a different house, and boom, your mail starts coming to the new place. Makes sense, right? An eSIM, on the other hand, is like having your address programmed directly into the walls of your house. It's built in. You can't touch it or pull it out, but it works exactly the same way. The mailman still knows where you live. So here's the thing most people don't realize. Both of these do the exact same job. They both tell your phone company who you are and where to send your stuff. The only difference is how they're installed. One's a physical chip you can hold, the other's a digital chip already inside your phone. That's really the whole story. But let's dig into why this matters and when you'd want one over the other. Let's start with the physical SIM card, because that's what most of us grew up with. Think of it like a little ID card for your phone. When you sign up with the phone company, they hand you this tiny chip, you pop it into your phone, and suddenly you have service. The beautiful thing about this is flexibility. If your phone breaks, you just pull out the SIM card and pop it into a new phone. Boom. Same number, same plan, no waiting, no calling customer service. It's like taking your house key to a new house. Simple. This is also amazing for travelers. Let's say you're going to Japan. You land, you buy a cheap local SIM card at the airport, you swap out your home SIM, and now you've got local service without paying those crazy international roaming fees. When you get home, you pop your original SIM back in. Easy. You're in control. You physically hold the thing that connects you to the network. Now, don't worry, because I know some people hear eSIM and immediately think it's some kind of permanent tracking chip or something. Let me just kill that idea right now. It's not. An eSIM is basically the same as a regular SIM card, except instead of being a physical chip you slide in, it's a tiny chip that's already soldered into your phone. And instead of getting a plastic card from your phone company, they send you a QR code. You scan it, and boom, your phone downloads your address onto that built-in chip. That's it. Think of it like this. You know how you used to buy software on a CD and install it on your computer, and now you just download the software from the internet? Same idea. The software still does the same thing. It's just delivered differently. eSIM is the download version of a SIM card. So why would anyone want this? Well, here's where it gets interesting. With an eSIM, you can have multiple phone numbers on the same phone. Imagine you have a work number and a personal number. With a physical SIM, you'd need to carry two phones or constantly swap SIM cards. With an eSIM, you could have both numbers active at the same time on one phone. Your work calls come through, your personal calls come through. You choose which number to use when you make a call. It's like having two mailboxes at the same house. This is also incredible for travelers, just in a different way. Instead of buying a physical SIM card when you land, you can buy an eSIM plan online before you even leave home. You download it, and the second you land, you've got service. No hunting for a store, no fumbling with tiny plastic chips at the airport. You just turn on your phone and go. And here's the best part. You can keep your home number active too, so people can still reach you on your regular number while you're using local data. Pretty cool, right? Now let's talk about the downsides, because nothing's perfect. With a physical SIM, the biggest annoyance is that it's one more thing to keep track of. You can lose it. It can get damaged. And if your phone breaks catastrophically, like it gets run over by a car, you better hope that little SIM card survived, because that's your lifeline to your number. Also, swapping SIM cards is fiddly. Those things are tiny. The little tray pops out, you need a special tool or a paper clip. It's not hard, but it's annoying. With an eSIM, the biggest issue is that it's locked to your phone. If your phone dies, you can't just pop the SIM into a backup phone like you can with a physical card. You have to contact your carrier, go through a whole transfer process, and get a new eSIM installed on the new phone. This sounds complicated, but in reality, most carriers can do it in like 10 minutes now. It's just an extra step. Also, not all phones support eSIM yet, especially older or cheaper models. So if you're someone who likes to switch phones a lot or use hand-me-down devices, physical SIM cards are still your best friend. Here's something nobody really talks about. In some countries, eSIMs are harder to get or not widely supported. If you're traveling somewhere remote or to a country where eSIM infrastructure isn't built out yet, you're going to want a physical SIM option. So it's not about one being better than the other, it's about which one fits your life better. Let me give you some real-world examples. If you're someone who upgrades their phone every few years, stays in one country most of the time, and likes the convenience of not dealing with physical cards, eSIM is fantastic. If you're someone who travels internationally a lot and wants maximum flexibility, or if you like switching between phones for fun, physical SIM gives you more control. If you want both, guess what? Most newer phones let you use both at the same time. You can have a physical SIM and an eSIM running together. Best of both worlds. Now, I know some people worry about privacy and tracking with eSIMs. Let me be super clear about this. Your phone company can track your location with either a physical SIM or an eSIM. The type of SIM has nothing to do with it. When your phone is on and connected to a network, the carrier knows roughly where you are. That's how cell service works. The eSIM doesn't make you more trackable. It's just a different way of storing the same information. If privacy is your concern, the bigger issue is your phone's operating system and apps, not the SIM type. All right, let's bring this all back to our house analogy. Your phone is a house. A physical SIM is an address card you can pick up and move to a different house. An eSIM is an address programmed into the walls of your house that can be changed or updated, but you can't physically remove it. Both addresses work. The mailman delivers to both. It's just a question of whether you want the flexibility of moving the card around or the convenience of having it built in. So which one should you use? Honestly, for most people, it doesn't matter that much. If your phone supports eSIM and your carrier supports it, try it out. It's convenient. If you like the control of a physical SIM, keep using that. There's no wrong answer here. The important thing is understanding what they actually do so you can make the choice that works for you. You're not locked into anything. You can switch, you can use both. It's your phone. You're in charge. You now know more about SIM cards than probably 90% of people walking around with phones in their pockets. You understand what they do, why they matter, and how the two types are different. Next time someone asks you about eSIM, you can actually explain it without just shrugging and saying, I don't know, it's a tech thing. Because now you do know. And that's pretty cool.